Hey there, green gardeners. You know what really gets under my skin? Those trendy garden tips that look perfect online but fall flat when you actually try them. Over the years, I've put countless gardening techniques to the test in my own backyard, and let me tell you, most of them belong in the compost bin. But here's the good news. I'm about to share 15 garden hacks that have earned their place in my routine. These aren't just ideas I found scrolling online. Every single one has been battle-tested in real soil, with real plants, solving genuine problems. And that ninth one? It rescued my entire tomato crop from a pest catastrophe without a drop of harsh chemicals. What makes these hacks worth your time? They're straightforward, no complex procedures or fancy tools required. They deliver real results. I've verified each one through repeated testing. And they're budget-friendly. Most use items already sitting in your home. Welcome to Green Haven Hacks, where we skip the fluff and dive straight into what genuinely makes your garden thrive. If you're ready for honest advice that actually produces results, go ahead and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Here's my challenge for you. Drop Hack Champion in the comments if you're committing to test at least 3 of these within the next 7 days. I'm eager to see who's ready to take action. Let's get growing. Hack 1. Eggshell Seed Starters. The issue: seed starting supplies drain your wallet fast, plus plastic containers aren't exactly earth-friendly. The solution: your breakfast eggs hold the answer. Crack them carefully near the top, rinse the shells thoroughly, and poke a tiny drainage hole at the bottom. Fill with seed starting mixture, plant your seeds. And here's the brilliant part. When your seedlings are ready, you plant the entire shell right into your garden bed. As the shell breaks down naturally, it feeds calcium directly to your plants. Why this works? Eggshells decompose naturally in soil while releasing beneficial nutrients. Since you're planting the whole shell, your seedlings experience zero transplant shock. Their roots remain completely undisturbed. And the best part? It costs you absolutely nothing. Every spring, I start between 30 and 40 seedlings using this method. No expenses, zero waste. And my tomatoes absolutely thrive on that calcium boost, which prevents blossom end rot. Pro move: keep your egg cartons. They make perfect holders for your eggshell starters, creating a complete free seed starting system. Hack 2. Cinnamon Fungus Fighter. The issue: fungal infections and damping off disease devastate young seedlings, and commercial fungicides are both pricey and loaded with chemicals. The solution: sprinkle ground cinnamon across your seedling soil. This kitchen spice contains powerful natural antifungal compounds that ward off damping off disease completely chemical-free. Before I discovered this technique, fungal issues claimed dozens of my seedlings. Now I dust every seed tray with cinnamon right at planting time. Since then, not one seedling lost to fungus. Pro move: grab inexpensive cinnamon from discount stores. You're not baking a cake here. Regular grocery store cinnamon delivers the same antifungal power. Hack 3. Banana Peel Fertilizer. The issue: commercial fertilizers are expensive and often harm the beneficial microorganisms living in your soil. The solution: bury banana peels around your tomatoes, peppers, and roses. As they decompose underground, they steadily release potassium, phosphorus, and calcium, precisely what flowering and fruiting plants crave. Why this works: banana peels pack approximately 42% potassium, 25% phosphorus, plus calcium. These nutrients release gradually as decomposition occurs, providing consistent feeding without the risk of burning your plants. I bury 2 or 3 banana peels around each tomato plant at planting time. My harvest improved noticeably, larger fruits, and significantly more of them. Pro move: chop peels into smaller pieces for faster decomposition. If you don't eat bananas frequently, freeze the peels until planting season arrives. Hack 4. Ice cube watering. The issue: overwatering destroys more container plants than underwatering, and controlling water volume is surprisingly tricky. The solution: water your plants using ice cubes instead of pouring from a container. The cubes melt gradually, eliminating overwatering risk while ensuring moisture reaches deep into the soil. It's virtually impossible to overwater this way, and counting cubes gives you precise, consistent watering for each plant. I use this method exclusively for my orchids and African violets, plants notoriously sensitive to excess moisture. 3 ice cubes weekly keeps them perfectly hydrated with zero root rot. Pro move: adjust cube quantity based on container size. Small pots need 2 to 3 cubes. Medium containers get 4 to 6, and large pots receive 8 to 10 cubes. Hack 5. Garlic pest spray. The issue: chemical pesticides eliminate beneficial insects right alongside the pests, plus they're expensive. The solution: blend 3 to 4 garlic cloves with 2 cups of water, strain thoroughly, and spray onto your plants. Pests detest the aroma and keep their distance, but beneficial insects and your plants remain unharmed. This spray rescued my roses from a serious aphid infestation. Within 2 days, the aphids disappeared and haven't returned because I apply it weekly as prevention. Pro move: add 1 drop of dish soap to help the spray adhere to leaf surfaces. Reapply following rainfall. Unused spray keeps in the refrigerator for up to 7 days. Hack 6. Coffee grounds acid boost. The issue: acid-loving plants like azaleas, blueberries, and hydrangeas struggle when soil pH is neutral or alkaline. The solution: sprinkle used coffee grounds around these acid-preferring plants. The grounds slowly acidify your soil while simultaneously adding nitrogen and organic material. My hydrangeas transformed from pale pink to stunning vibrant blue after I began adding coffee grounds monthly. The increased acidity dramatically intensified their flower color. Pro move: ask your neighborhood coffee shop for their used grounds. Most cafes happily give them away. I collect a full bucket weekly from a local shop. Hack 7. Cardboard weed barrier. The issue: landscape fabric costs a fortune and weeds eventually push through it anyway. The solution: layer cardboard over your garden beds before adding mulch. It blocks weeds completely, suppresses grass, and decomposes naturally, enriching your soil as it breaks down. Earthworms absolutely love it. I converted a weed-infested lawn section into a productive garden bed using this approach. After laying cardboard and topping it with 4 inches of mulch, I planted directly through it. 0 weeds emerged while the cardboard decomposed over 6 months. Pro move: remove any tape and labels first. Overlap your cardboard pieces by 6 inches to prevent weeds from exploiting gaps. Wet the cardboard before covering with mulch to keep it in place. Hack 8. Wine bottle slow drip irrigation. The issue: your plants suffer when you travel, and automatic irrigation systems cost serious money. The solution: fill empty wine bottles with water and push them upside down into the soil near plant roots. Water releases slowly as soil dries, maintaining steady moisture for days. Why this works: a vacuum forms inside the bottle, naturally regulating water release. As soil dries and pulls away from the bottle opening, air enters and water drips out. When soil becomes saturated, the vacuum holds water back, preventing overwatering. This technique saves my container plants every single trip I take. I position wine bottles before leaving and return home to perfectly hydrated plants instead of dried-out casualties. Pro move: fill bottles completely, eliminating all air pockets for maximum capacity. Push bottles deep enough that they won't topple over. 1 bottle keeps plants hydrated for 3 to 7 days, depending on weather conditions. Hack 9. Marigold pest companions. The issue: tomato hornworms, aphids, and countless other pests wreak havoc on vegetable gardens. The solution: plant marigolds throughout your vegetable garden, particularly near tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. Pests avoid marigolds naturally, creating protection for nearby vegetables. Why this works: marigolds release pyrethrum and thiophene, natural compounds that repel numerous garden pests. Their powerful scent masks the smell of vegetables, making it harder for pests to locate their targets. I plant marigolds every 3 feet throughout my vegetable beds. My tomato hornworm problem vanished entirely. Last season, 0 hornworms compared to dozens the year before. Pro move: French marigolds, Tagetes patula, prove most effective. Plant them before pest season begins for prevention rather than waiting until you spot damage. Hack 10. Potato rose propagation. The issue: Rose cuttings frequently fail to develop roots, and rooting hormone products are expensive. The solution: push your rose cutting through a small potato and plant them together. The potato maintains cutting moisture and supplies nutrients while roots develop. Why this works? Potatoes keep consistent moisture around the cutting, preventing it from drying out. They also contain natural growth hormones and nutrients that encourage root formation. The potato functions as both water reservoir and rooting medium. I successfully rooted 8 out of 10 rose cuttings using this technique versus my typical 50% success rate. The potato-rooted cuttings also grew faster once established. Pro move: use small potatoes or cut larger ones to size. Make the hole through the potato slightly smaller than your cutting for a snug fit. Plant everything 3 to 4 inches deep. Hack 11. Frozen water bottle coolers. The issue: heat stress kills plants during summer months, and cool season crops bolt prematurely in warm weather. The solution: freeze water in plastic bottles and position them beside heat-sensitive plants. The ice melts slowly, cooling surrounding soil and air, extending the growing season for cool crops while reducing heat stress in tomatoes and peppers. This technique extended my lettuce harvest by 3 full weeks. I positioned frozen bottles around lettuce each morning, and they remained harvestable instead of bolting immediately during June heat waves. Pro move: use gallon containers for maximum cooling impact. Place them on the shaded side of plants so melting water doesn't scald leaves. Refreeze and reuse identical bottles throughout summer. Hack 12. Epsom salt magnesium boost. The issue: magnesium deficiency causes yellowing leaves with green veins, and plants fail to flower properly. The solution: dissolve 1 teaspoon of Epsom salt, magnesium sulfate, in 1 gallon of water and apply to plants monthly. Tomatoes, peppers, and roses benefit especially. Why this works? Epsom salt is pure magnesium sulfate. Magnesium is critical for chlorophyll production and fruit and flower development. Many soils lack sufficient magnesium, and this provides an inexpensive, readily absorbed supplement. My pepper plants were yellowing and producing minimal peppers. After 2 Epsom salt treatments, foliage turned dramatically greener and pepper production tripled. Pro move: sprinkle 1 tablespoon of dry Epsom salt around tomato plant bases at planting and again when flowers emerge. This prevents deficiency before it starts. Hack 13. Bread tag plant labels. The issue: commercial plant labels are expensive and fade under sunlight. The solution: save plastic bread bag closure tabs. Write plant names with permanent marker and clip them to plants or stakes. They're waterproof, durable, and completely free. Why this works? Plastic bread tags withstand weather indefinitely. Permanent marker won't fade like pencil or water-based ink. The clip design attaches securely to stems, stakes, or support structures without falling off. I've been using bread tag labels for 3 years. They've survived rain, intense sun, snow, and temperature extremes without fading or breaking. My investment in plant labels? $0. Pro move: collect tags throughout the year in a container. When spring planting arrives, you'll have dozens ready. Different colored tags can indicate different plant varieties or planting dates. Hack 14. Spoon watering depth gauge. The issue: it's difficult to determine whether you're watering deeply enough for healthy root growth. The solution: push a metal spoon into soil after watering. If it slides in easily to the handle, you've watered deeply enough. If it meets resistance, continue watering. Why this works? Properly watered soil is moist to a depth of 6 to 8 inches. The spoon test quickly measures moisture depth without disturbing plants. Metal spoons glide through moist soil but stick in dry soil, providing instant feedback. This hack revolutionized my watering routine. I was surface watering, assuming I was doing enough. The spoon test revealed water only penetrated 2 inches. Now I water until the spoon confirms deep moisture, and my plants are absolutely thriving. Pro move: test multiple areas of your garden bed. Water doesn't always distribute evenly. The spoon test reveals where you need additional water versus where soil is already saturated. There you have it, 15 garden hacks that genuinely work in real-world conditions. No theories, No disappointing failures, just proven techniques I rely on constantly. From eggshell seedlings to spoon watering tests, every single one solves actual problems without breaking the bank or requiring specialized equipment. These are the methods I share with friends, teach to beginning gardeners, and depend on in my own garden beds. But here's what I'm really curious about. Which hack caught you by surprise? Was it the potato rose propagation? The cinnamon fungus fighter? Or maybe the marigold planting that saved my tomatoes? Share your favorite in the comments right now. And don't forget the challenge. Drop Hack Champion if you're testing 3 of these within the next week. Quick question, which challenge affects your garden most? Pests, watering struggles, poor soil quality, or relentless weeds? Tell me your biggest gardening obstacle, and we might address it in an upcoming video. If these proven solutions helped you today, hit that thumbs up button, share this with fellow gardeners who are tired of techniques that don't deliver, subscribe to Green Haven Hacks, and enable notifications because we're bringing you more tested garden solutions every single week. Thanks for learning with me today. Now go put these hacks to work and let's see genuine results in your garden. Until next time, keep growing, keep experimenting, and remember, the best gardening wisdom is the wisdom that actually produces results. Happy gardening, everyone!